Hello, and welcome to the 741 channel. Thank you for stopping by. Today, well, actually tomorrow, I'm going to try my first SOTA activation. Now, I've done plenty of POTA activations in the past and had a lot of fun doing that, but I've yet to try a SOTA activation. Well, I think I've got all my stuff together, and I think I'm ready to do it. So those of you who follow my channel on a regular basis know that I live in Connecticut, and you also probably know that southern New England isn't exactly a hotbed for summits, although there are some here, especially in the western part of Connecticut and Massachusetts, where the Berkshire Mountains come through. But I'm in eastern Connecticut, and we really only have a few summits over here that qualify. So the summit that I'm going to attempt tomorrow is actually just over the Connecticut border. It's in Munson, Massachusetts. It's called Peaked Mountain, and I think its reference number is W1/CR006. So what I thought I'd do here now, since I'm getting stuff ready for tomorrow, is turn the camera around and show you guys what I'm going to bring. So the first thing I'm going to start off with is my backpack. Now, this is nothing fancy. This is actually something that I picked up at a yard sale, or what we call a tag sale here in Connecticut, probably about 10 or 12 years ago. But it seems to still be holding up just fine, and that's what I'm going to use today. As far as backpacks go, this thing is fairly simple. It's just got one main compartment here. It's got some compartments on the side that can fit water bottles, which I'll probably bring at least one of those tomorrow. And then it's got sort of a leathery suede bottom to give it some amount of waterproofness, so if you set it down on the ground, stuff won't soak through. The next thing, of course, that I will bring is my phone. This is an old Google Pixel 2. I think this thing is going on 3, maybe 4 years old. I don't even remember when we got these, but this still seems to work okay, although the battery in it doesn't like being out in the cold. And it's supposed to be 30 degrees tomorrow as a high, so it's going to be pretty cold out. So what I'm going to bring along with the phone is this light and sort of battery pack. What I'll be able to do is plug this into the phone for extra battery power if I need it. And I probably will, given this phone's track record. The next thing I'm going to do is bring my Anytone D878 HT. While I'm up on the hill, I'm going to try and make a few contacts on 14652. The next thing I'm going to throw in the backpack is my 40 and 20 meter linked dipole that I built last year. Now, this is actually a little heavy. I think this whole thing weighs about 2 pounds. It's made of an old cutting board from Walmart, some 1/4-20 hardware from Tractor Supply, and some THHN 14 gauge wire from Home Depot. Now, I've used this antenna before on POTA, and it works good. The only problem is it weighs about 2 pounds. It's pretty heavy. So I haven't completely decided if I'm going to bring it or not, but I've pulled it out, and I'm going to put it in the pack, and then just heft everything and see how it feels. If it feels like this is going to be too heavy or bulky, I'm going to leave it home. The other antenna that I'm going to bring along, and it's not really wound up properly right now, is my Pacific Antennas QRP Kits 20 and 40 meter trap dipole. I built this last summer and used it a couple of times, once even with my motorcycle, and it seemed to work pretty well. I've got some videos on this one too. I'll leave some links in the description below. Now this one, of course, weighs a whole lot less than this one. Like I said, this one's about 2 pounds, and I think this one's about 0.2 pounds. But I want to make sure I have an antenna that's going to work if there's problems with one or the other. So I think I'm going to try and bring both if this one doesn't feel like it's too bulky. The coax I'm going to bring is what I normally use with my POTA activations. This is about 25 or 30 feet or so of RG8X. This seems to work well. The only problem here is that this coax is relatively heavy. I think it weighs right around 2 pounds. But this is the shortest, lightest piece of coax I have right now, so this is what I'm going to bring. If I end up doing more SOTA activations in the future, I'm going to look into something a little bit lighter and maybe just a little bit shorter. Not sure if I need quite this much coax or not. So now I've got this other pack here. Now this is actually a bag that I bought to carry my camera stuff around in. But I was taking a look at it, and I found out that it seems to fit all of my radio gear pretty well. In fact, it fits everything except the antenna and coax. So first up in the main compartment, you can see I've got a pair of Sony sort of foldable headphones. I really like these. They're cheap, they're fairly lightweight, and they work really well. They have a nice good sound to them. I do have a pair of earbuds, but I just don't like using those. I really prefer these. I printed out some paper log sheets to use for logging since, like I said before, I really can't trust and rely on my phone with that battery issue. And then in the compartment here, I've got a couple of pencils to use for logging. The star of the show here, of course, is my Yaesu FT-891. This is a pretty heavy radio to be carrying up a mountain, but again, the mountains here in southern New England really aren't all that high, so I don't have all that far to walk. I think the trail is maybe about a mile, maybe a mile and a half, and I've got about 500 feet or so of elevation gain, so this should be manageable. So up here in this top compartment, in the outer pouch, I've got some adapters. The ones I'm going to bring are an SMA to SO239 for the HT. I've got a barrel connector, and then I've got a BNC to SO239 adapter for the Pacific Antennas trap dipole, since that has a BNC connector at its feed point. And then up here in the main top compartment is my Bioenno 15 amp hour battery. It fits just perfectly up there. Now again, this is pretty heavy. I forget exactly how much this weighs, maybe 6 or 7 pounds. For now, this is what I've got, so this is what I'm going to carry up. It's still lighter than carrying up a lead acid battery, that's for sure. And I almost forgot, up here in this pouch, I've got the power cord for the radio. Now this is actually a shortened version of the original Yaesu power cord. I cut it down so it's about 3 feet long or so, and then put power poles on here so that if I want to splice in the original length, I can do that. For the most part, even when I'm working POTA, I really only need about this much. And then also in the top pouch, just in case I need it, I got a couple of spare fuses for the power cable. So like I said, I've got almost everything I need in here. If I decided I was only going to use the Pacific Antennas trap dipole and maybe had some lighter coax, I'd be able to fit everything in that one pack, and I wouldn't even need the backpack. The only problem is this only has one sort of shoulder strap on it. It's not really meant for long distance hiking, so I think after a while this would bother my shoulder. So what I think I'm going to do is throw all this stuff in that big backpack and we'll carry it up the hill that way. Now when my son was younger, I used to carry him up on my back, so hopefully I'm not too far out of shape and this should be manageable for me. So I'm ready to head out and head to Peaked Mountain. It's only about 6 or 7, maybe 8 miles from here, so it won't take too long to get there. Why don't you guys come along for the ride? So I'm here at the parking lot for Peaked Mountain in Munson, Massachusetts. You may be able to see behind me there's a handful of cars here, which means there's going to be people on the trail and probably people up at the top. It's going to make it a little difficult to set up right at the summit, which is where I was hoping to set up, but that's okay. There's a couple of nice spots up there where I should be able to set up and stay out of everyone's way and maybe not feel so self-conscious about holding this camera in my face trying to do a vlog at the same time. So the trailhead starts right across that field behind me. The trail I think is about 1.5 miles long, and we've got about 500 feet of elevation gain or so. Now I did weigh my pack before I left home, and it's 20 pounds. A little bit hefty, especially for me. I'm a little bit out of shape, but I should manage. This will be good for me. Anyway, let's hit the trail. I'm about halfway up the main part of the hill, about 1/3 of the way to the summit. You can see there's a pond behind me and a nice stone bench. Good place to stop and catch my breath. I am a little bit out of shape compared to what I used to be. So I've made it up the main part of the trail here. The next leg of the trail is flat for quite a ways until we get to the final summit, and then there's another short, steep uphill burst up some rocks, and then we're at the top. This property is now owned by the Trustees of Reservations. It's a land conservation and sort of park organization here in Massachusetts that buys up pieces of property like this and preserves them and opens them up to the public and maintains trails, that kind of a thing. Before they bought this, I think it was maybe 10 or 15 years ago, this used to be private. It was actually a tree farm. And all these trails that I'm walking on are old logging roads that they used to run tractors on. So the family that used to own this property was fine with the general public coming up here and enjoying the view. So I've been coming up here as long as I can remember. But now that it's owned by a conservation organization, it's nice to know that it's preserved for everybody to use and enjoy and won't be built on or anything like that. Anyway, let's get on with the last leg of the hike and get up to the top of the hill. As you can see, I've made it to the top. And for the moment, no one's around. So let's take a little bit of a tour. We're going to start off looking south. Now I know the sun is kind of directly in the view of the camera, but down that way is Stafford Springs, Connecticut. That's sort of where I live, down that way. And if I pan around east, there's some ridges there, and the Connecticut-Massachusetts state line is somewhere right about there where my finger is. And in fact, I don't know if you guys can see it or not, but there is a hill there with a tower on top. That's actually the highest point in eastern Connecticut. It's called Burley Hill, and it's in Union, Connecticut, not very far from the Massachusetts border. That's also a SOTA entity, but it's private property, so you have to get permission before you go up there. Now, luckily, I know the owner of it. So one of these days I gotta head up there and activate that. So now I'll just kind of pan around. We're looking more or less east through northeast. Not sure if you guys can see it on the horizon there. It's kind of hazy today, but I can see it with my eyes. That's actually Mount Monadnock in southern New Hampshire. I don't know, that's maybe about 60 or 70 air miles from here. That's a great hike, and in fact, a long time ago, before SOTA or POTA was a thing, I carried some 2-meter gear up there and had a lot of fun making contacts. Anyway, a little closer to home, more in the foreground over there, not sure if you guys can see it, there's a hill with a tower on it. That's the Quabbin Hill at the south end of the Quabbin Reservoir in central Massachusetts. I believe that's a SOTA entity as well. If it's not a SOTA entity, it's most likely a POTA entity, so I'm going to have to get up there at some point. And then if I sort of look towards the west, we got a bunch of trees. There's really no view there, but Springfield, Massachusetts would be right about over there where my finger is. But even though these trees are blocking the view, they're going to make a great support for my antennas. And then also up here on Peaked Mountain is the Peaked Mountain mailbox. It's sort of a trail log and a place for people to leave their thoughts. Back a long time ago, this was an actual mailbox, but it kept getting destroyed by the local teenagers, so somebody made this heavier duty kind of trail log house. And you can see there's some notes and stuff in there. I'm not going to take anything out of there today or leave any messages, but I should have brought a sticker or something to put in the book. And here's the actual benchmark for the top of Peaked Mountain. So I've come a little ways from the peak of the mountain, which is right there, just maybe 100 or 200 feet to my north. Still within the activation zone for sure, but I'm out of the way of everyone else, and I've got some trees and stuff here to work with for my antenna. So I'm going to go ahead and get set up. Let's see what I can do. I think I'm just about set up and ready to go. As you may be able to hear, the radio's on right now, listening to this frequency to make sure no one's using it. While we listen, I'll show you guys the setup. So the main trail back up to the summit is right there. In fact, there's a few people up at the summit. You might be able to see them through the trees. I'm not sure. Either way, you can see in this tree I've got my HT. I'm monitoring 14652 right now. I'll try and throw a few calls out there later. But for now, I decided to put my 40 and 20 meter link dipole up in this tree. And you can see I've got the legs going off either direction here in the trees. Now, it's obviously not up very high, maybe about 6 feet, maybe 7 if I'm lucky. I've already been tuning around, and I'm hearing a few signals out there nice and strong. So hopefully I can get out and make a few contacts. To activate the summit, all I really need is 4, so let's see what happens. Before we get on with the footage from the actual activation, I need to mention a couple of things. First up is that I forgot my little tripod for my camera. So when I set the camera up, I thought I had a good angle, but turns out there were a bunch of sticks in the way. So the footage isn't all that great. I apologize for that. The second thing I'll mention is that I was able to work a few of my fellow ham radio YouTubers. I still get a little starstruck and kind of tongue-tied when I work these famous YouTubers. I tried to include the full length of those activations, but you'll hear me kind of stumble over my words a little bit. The third thing I'll mention is that I did work Chuck KK6USY, but right before our contact, my camera shut off. Now I have audio from the contact because I had my separate audio recorder on me, but there's no video for that, so I'll just splice in some photos of the summit while I play that contact. So having said all that, let's get on with the activation. CQ SOTA, CQ SOTA, CQ SOTA. November 1, November Uniform Golf. November 1, November Uniform Golf. Calling CQ Summits on the air from Whiskey 1, Charlie Romeo 006 in Massachusetts.
Whiskey 9, Foxtrot, Foxtrot, Foxtrot.
Whiskey 9, Foxtrot, Foxtrot, Foxtrot. How you doing? You're 5-9 here into Whiskey 1, Charlie Romeo 006.
Okay, you're about a 5-3 here, 5-3. Could you give me the park location, or the summit location one more time?
Sure, no problem. It's Whiskey 1, Charlie Romeo 006, Peaked Mountain in Massachusetts.
QSL, you went down to about a 5-1 that time, but I got it. Very good. Good luck, and I'm going to go ahead and do what I got to do to get you spotted. Good luck.
Yeah, thanks for coming back to me. Good to make contact with you there. Okay, very good. Well, hey, thanks for the support. Appreciate that. Making a video now, so keep an eye for that, and you should be in it here. Although you are fading out a bit, so I'm not sure how well the mic's going to pick it up. But thanks for coming back to my call. Appreciate that. 7-3, November 1, November Uniform Golf.
WB7 Bravo, Whiskey Zulu. QSL, I think it's N1NUG. Whiskey Bravo 7, Bravo Whiskey Zulu. You are 42, 4x2 in Montana, QSL. 73, thanks for the activation. Have a good time. Happy New Year.
November Whiskey 7 Echo. 5-3, 53 in Central Oregon. Over.
Kilowatt 0, Lima Alpha Foxtrot. Okay, you faded out on me. I missed my report. When I heard you, you were 5-3, 53, 5-3 here in Missouri. Over. QSL 5-3. Thanks for the summit and Happy New Year. Whiskey 6 Delta Tango. QSL to 55. You're about a 43 in the Sierra Foothills, California with some QSB. 43. Happy New Year. Thanks for the activation. 7-3.
Whiskey November 4, Alpha Tango. QSL, you're 4x4 in Alabama, over. You're good luck. Come in breaking.
Kilo 6 Yankee Kilo. Kilo 6 Yankee Kilo.
Okay, you're about 3-3, 33, 1-2-3, 1-2-3, 33, over.
Okay, thank you very much, and Happy New Year, 73, K6 Yankee Kilo.
Alpha Echo 0, X-Ray India. Alpha Echo 0, X-Ray India. QSL, you are 4545 to South Dakota. 73, be safe out there. Kilo Mike 9 Golf.
Hey, Kilo Mike 9 Golf. You are 3x3 into Massachusetts. How you doing, Steve?
I'm doing fantastic, Rob. I will give you a 3x3 in return as well. I can hear you, but you're really quiet on my end, and if I turn my volume up, you just get more distorted, not louder. So, good job on the summit. Keep up the good work. Thanks for being out there.
Okay, Steve. Yeah, thanks to you too. Appreciate you chasing today and all the videos and whatnot. Look forward to seeing you on the big screen here soon. 7-3. We'll catch you later. N1NUG. And Happy New Year. QRZ. Hey, and there's Chuck. How you doing? KK6USY. You're 3x3 here into Massachusetts.
Yeah, Rob, I got a right copy. You're about a 5-1, over.
Okay, very good, Chuck. Yeah, 5-1, I'll take it. There's a little bit of QSB out there, so we'll keep it short. But thanks for chasing today. Glad I could hook up with you here.
All right, Rob. Have fun out there. Be safe. This is KK6USY. Turning back to you and have a great time.
Okay, 7-3, Chuck. We'll catch you later. N1NUG. QRZ.
Kilowatt 0, Mike Alpha Juliet. QSL, you're also 5-7 in Missouri. 73, Happy New Year.
I hear somebody out there calling November 1, November Uniform Golf. Try again, you're real weak. So what I think I'm going to do now is see if I can switch over to 40. I've got the antenna. All I have to do is connect the links. Might as well while I'm set up. I was able to get a few of my friends on the YouTubers bunch, so that was kind of cool. And a bunch of other stations actually did better than I thought I would. Is this frequency in use? Is this frequency in use? Oh, sounds like it is. Is this frequency in use? Is this frequency in use? Yes. Okay, 40 is pretty packed. I'm having trouble trying to find a frequency, but I think I finally got one. Is this frequency in use? Is this frequency in use? CQ SOTA, CQ SOTA, CQ SOTA. November 1, November Uniform Golf. November 1, November Uniform Golf. Calling CQ SOTA from Whiskey 1, Charlie Romeo 006 in Massachusetts.
Yes, Kilo 3, Tango, Charlie Uniform. USL to 5-3, and thanks, Rob. You're 5-8. You're into northwestern Pennsylvania. Beautiful signal, and hope you're staying warm. Happy New Year, Rob. 7-3.
64, November Lima Tango. USL, US 5-3 here in Northern Virginia. USL 73, thanks for the activation.
India, WF4I. Whiskey Foxtrot 4 India, WF4I in North Carolina. You're 5 and 4, 5 and 4. Happy New Year, Rob. Thank you for the contact.
Whiskey India 8 Juliet.
QSL, you're 5-5 in Southern Michigan this afternoon. Thanks for the activation on the summit. 73.
This is November 1, Bravo Echo Delta. Roger, Roger. Hey, I have you at a 5757 in Northern Virginia, just about 25 miles south of Washington, D.C. My pleasure. Have fun, my friend, and thanks for being out there for us today, and Happy New Year to you as well. This is N1 DED.
N1 NUG from November 9 Oscar Victor Romeo N9 OVR. Okay, you are 5 and 7 here as well. Very good here. Thank you for all you do there on the YouTube there with the rest of them there from Wisconsin.
Okay, very good. Well, thanks for supporting everybody. We all appreciate it. We all have fun with it. So glad you're following along. 7-3 and Happy New Year. Thanks for chasing.
Kilo Alpha 3 Foxtrot Whiskey Quebec. Roger. You are 5757 into the state of Western PA.
Alpha Bravo 4, Papa. Roger. Happy New Year. Happy New Year, Rob. You're 5 and 3 in North Carolina. Over. All right, 7-3. Thanks for the activation. Kilo November 4, Charlie Fox Tango. USL, you are a 3-3 as well. 3-3 into Victor Alpha. 7-3. Happy New Year.
N1 NUG. I think I'm going to go QRT here. 7-3 to all. Thanks for chasing. N1 NUG QRT. Okay, so I think I'm going to wrap up. I made a bunch of contacts on 20 and 40. Actually did better than I thought I would do. And even got a chance to talk to a few of the YouTubers bunch. So that's cool too. So I think I'm going to wrap this antenna up here, put everything away, and then I might try calling CQ on 2 meters too, and just see if I can get anybody before I head down the mountain. Okay, so I'm just about ready to head down the mountain, but thought I would try 5-2 just for fun. See if anybody's listening. CQ SOTA, November 1, November Uniform Golf. November 1, November Uniform Golf. Calling CQ SOTA from Pekin Mountain in Munson, Massachusetts. Was it KC1 LNL, November 1, November Uniform Golf? You still there?
I am. I'm here, and yeah, that's Lima, November Lima. I think you got it. Kind of like today. Must be a little chilly up there.
Yeah, it's not too bad. You know, the hike up here gets you warmed up. I've been up here for an hour or so now. I did some 20 meter and some 40 meter. Figured I'd throw a call on 2 meter just to see if anybody was out there. Having a lot of fun. This is actually my first SOTA activation. I've never done it before. I figured I'd give it a shot here.
Oh, very pretty good. Yeah, I have a lot of fun doing that, so I'm glad you're doing it. And yeah, signal's good in here into the southern part of Warren. I forget what elevation peak it has, but I'm at about 1,000 feet here.
Okay, KC1LNL, good to catch up with you there. And yeah, like you said, maybe when things turn a little better, we'll do some summit to summit. Who knows? We'll see. But good catching up with you. 7-3 for now. This is N1NUG. Is there anybody else on frequency? I'll make another contact if anyone's around.
It's Kilo Charlie 1, Juliet Zulu Romeo.
Kilo Charlie 1. I already forgot it. Juliet Zulu Romeo, I think you said. Name here is Rob, Romeo Oscar Bravo. I'm up on Peaked Mountain here. Whiskey 1, Charlie Romeo 006, doing a little bit of a SOTA activation, just wrapping up.
Okay, I'm getting about 1 bar here, and I did hear that, N1NUG, and what's, I'm located here in Holyoke, Massachusetts, and what's your QTA?
I'm here on top of Peaked Mountain in Munson, Massachusetts. So a little bit south of you, about 1,200 feet in elevation, just on an HT.
Oh, very good. Wow. All right. An HT. Excellent. The name here is Gary, and it's very, very good to speak with you. And there you have it. So with that, N1NUG, KC1JZR, and you have a really good day. It was nice catching up with you there on the HT. Excellent. Over to you.
Okay, Gary, KC1JZR, N1NUG. Name here is Rob, Romeo Oscar Bravo. Don't want to hold the frequency. If you guys want to test the radio out here, I'll clear out. I got to get out of here anyway and get home before my wife sends out a search party. But good talking to you here today, 7-3, and enjoy the day. I'll put you in my log as well here on Summits on the Air. 7-3, N1NUG. So I'm making my way down the hill here, but I wanted to stop and wrap the video up here. I really enjoyed this activation. It was a lot of fun. Made some contacts on 20, made some on 40, and I even made 2 contacts on 2 meters. Did a little bit of rag chewing with some local guys here. So like I said earlier in the video, there just aren't a ton of peaks around here in southern New England. Otherwise, I might be out every weekend doing this. I can kind of see why the SOTA bug bites so many people and they just get hooked on it. But we'll see what the future brings. For now, if you enjoyed the video, please give it a thumbs up. If you'd like to leave a comment or subscribe, feel free to do that as well. If you'd like to support my channel in another way, please consider visiting my Amazon store, which is linked in the description below. Thanks for watching.